In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how choosing the wrong NAICS code can cost you millions of dollars. If you're new to the channel, my name is Desmond Acha, founder of USA Contract Solutions, where we specialize in helping businesses win government contracts. If you want me and my team to help you win some government contracts, click the link in the description below, schedule a call with myself and my team, and we can definitely help you win some government contracts. So let's talk about it, right? You want to win government contracts and you want to know exactly what NAICS code to use for your business. Well, the first thing is this, right? You must first understand what a NAICS code is, right? So a NAICS code is spelled N-A-I-C-S code, right? Some people say NAICS code, some people say NAICS code, right? I just say NAICS code, right? So what is a NAICS code? A NAICS code is a 6-digit code used by federal agencies and small businesses to identify products and services that they wish to sell, right? So all the NAICS code is an identifier for a product or a service, okay? I'm gonna show you that in a second. So why do you need a NAICS code, right? Well, you need it for SAM registration because if you're pursuing federal contracts, you need to have a SAM registration. And mind you, a NAICS code is only for the federal government, right? It's only for federal contracting. NAICS codes don't really matter at the state and local level. It's specifically designed for federal contracting, right? So it also is used to determine your eligibility to be considered a small business based on the numbers of employees or the revenue that you have in your business, right? So where do you find NAICS codes? You can find NAICS codes at NAICS.com, so NAICS.com, or you can Google SBS size standard table, right? So I actually have the size standard table bookmarked right here, to use. On the size standard table is essentially a list, right? It's a 46-page list of all NAICS codes, right? And this table determines if you're a small business or you are not a small business, right? And it determines if you are small or large by the number of employees that you have, right? Or the amount of money that you make, right? In the millions of dollars, right? So if you're a soybeans farmer and you have more than $0.75 million, right? You are no longer a small business. You see what I'm saying? If you scroll down some more, you see right here. If you provide all other metals or mining, right, and you have more than 750 employees, you're no longer a small business, right? So why does this matter? It matters because when you are a small business, there's so many incentives that you can leverage to win more government contracts. When you're a large business, the kind of amount of incentives available for you is limited, right? So you must understand how to leverage this data, right, this table, to understand how to get the right NAICS codes, right? So when choosing the right NAICS codes, right, you must first understand this. In your SAM registration, there's a primary NAICS code and the secondary NAICS code, right? Your primary NAICS code is what determines if you're a small or large business. If my primary NAICS code is this code right here, right, and this is for plumbing, right? Well, that means that if I make more than $15 million in average of 3 years, I believe they just changed it to 5 years, right? Let's run with the 5 years. If I average more than $15 million in a 5-year period, I am no longer a small business, right? So, which means that I lose all the incentives as a small business. So what you should do now is, right, well, let's make your primary NAICS code a bigger code, right? So for instance, if you go to, let's say, construction, right? Well, commercial construction NAICS code, it's a $36.5 million. So now, if your primary NAICS code is the construction NAICS code and your secondary NAICS code is the plumbing NAICS code, that's $15 million. All that simply means is you are now graded on if you make more than $36 million in an average of 5 years. You see what I'm saying? So the bigger the code is, the better it is for you to make that your primary NAICS code. Even if you don't provide these particular services, right? I would hope that you can provide the services, in some capacity, right? Maybe it's not your main bread and butter, but obviously provide it a little bit, right? So it's justified for you having that NAICS code. But obviously, plumbing falls inside construction, right? So that would make sense. So that means that for me, let's say I only do framing, right? I'm a framing contractor. If my primary NAICS code is $15 million, well, guess what? If I make more than $15 million in a 5-year average, right, I am no longer a small business, but I can still do framing contractor, right, and use this as my primary NAICS code right here, which means that they're now basing the ability for me being a small business based on $36 million rather than $15 million, okay? So you need to understand exactly what your primary NAICS code is and your secondary NAICS code. To wrap this up, just make sure your primary NAICS code is the highest number NAICS code that you can find that falls in the industry that you're doing business in. If you're doing business in construction, then you should definitely have $36 million as your primary NAICS code, and then have your secondaries, your roofing, your HVAC, your framing, right, as the small $15 million ones, because they're gonna grade you based on $36 million, right? Hey, real quick, please like the video. I'm begging you, just please like the video. It takes literally 3 seconds to do. Look at that, you're already done. Thank you very much. Just press the like button right there. Like the video. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you. So that's why choosing the wrong NAICS code can cost you millions of dollars, because if you choose the wrong NAICS code, right, let's say you put your NAICS code as the roofing primary, right? Your primary NAICS code was a roofing contractor, right? Now that means that let's say you make more than $25 million in an average of 5 years. Now you're no longer a small business. You lose all the incentives of being a small business because you're no longer a small business, and you can't go back and change it. It's too late, right? But let's say that you essentially made your primary NAICS code $36 million, right, an average of 5 years, and you still do $25,000. Well, guess what? $25 million. You are still a small business because your primary NAICS code, is the big umbrella, and yet you are under that umbrella, right? Now, I'm gonna give you a little secret in this video right here, right? This is actually like some secret sauce right here, okay? And I definitely deserve a like, a subscribe, and a comment, okay? If anything, just like it and subscribe to the channel. I definitely deserve it after I give you the secret, okay? So, NAICS codes are great, right? Everybody uses NAICS codes, right? So, of course, pick your NAICS codes, and by the way, only pick 5 NAICS codes. You don't need to have 500 freaking NAICS codes, okay? Literally, find 5 NAICS codes that fit exactly what you can do, and then build your business around those 5 NAICS codes. You can add more NAICS codes as you get better and better and better, because if an agency sees that you have 50 different NAICS codes and you have 0 contracts that you've won in the past, they're gonna say, wow, this person has no idea what they are doing, right? So find 5, at most 5. At best, choose to be solid NAICS codes and stay in those 3, right? But let's just say 5, right? Pick your 5 NAICS codes. Now, this is the thing about NAICS codes. And NAICS code is an umbrella, right? It's a big umbrella. Now, under this umbrella, right, there are a bunch of small little codes here and there, right? Those small little codes are called PSC codes, right? PSC codes. Now, these PSC codes, right, they are attached to every freaking contract, okay? So when you're doing your market research, rather than researching the NAICS code, right? Because the NAICS code is this big umbrella. Let's say the NAICS code is construction, right? Under this construction NAICS code, there's plumbing, electrical, digging, walls, like literally a whole bunch of different things that fall under construction. So NAICS codes cover the umbrella, right? Has a whole bunch of different PSC codes in it, right? So when you do your market research, you might get data on things that are irrelevant to what you do, and that's gonna skew your market research, right, towards another way. But if you do your market research based on PSC codes, right, it's way more focused, it's way more precise, because every contract that is rewarded has a PSC code, and the PSC codes are very self-explanatory. So moving forward, right, let's start using PSC codes. I don't hear anybody else talking about this, and that's what I'm saying. I deserve a like, a subscribe, and a comment, okay? Because PSC codes are gonna make your life so much easier. I promise you that, okay? If you got any kind of vibe from this video, definitely smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment, leave me a review. I love doing this. I want to help you make some money. I create these videos because a lot of people don't know how to win government contracts, and I don't want it to be you. So consume the content, subscribe to the channel. If you need additional help, okay, click in the description below. Go to one of my free trainings, join GovCon University, schedule a discovery call. Let's see if we can help you win some government contracts. Overall, you want contract away, and I'll see you on the other side.